Hogan. She is the founder of International Academy of Universal Self-Mastery. Today is their huge launch. We are celebrating here with our balloons already. We couldn't be more excited for you, Ayse. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. And yes, thank you for celebrating with me. It's a big day. It's a big day.
Tell us about this journey. First of all, tell us what's happening today, and then we'll backtrack to how you got here.
So what's happening today is that for the last 6 months, and I'm gonna call it nesting, as we've been preparing for the birth of Ayse. And it's happening tonight. So tonight we're doing a launch party, and it's going to be a great party. Bob Doyle is actually emceeing the party, and it's just a 2-hour event where people can meet our faculty, and there's going to be lots of prizes, and where people can understand what Ayse is about and how it's. I know when people bring things to light, they always talk about how their thing is so different, and I'm sure it is. But in the case of Ayse, I was hard pressed to find anything that was remotely close to her. And I think this is going to be a very different experience for people in a lot of different ways. So I'm pretty excited for everyone who's coming. I'm excited for me for being able to help bring this into the world, but I'm super excited for everyone who's going to be able to experience what she's all about and what she's going to offer.
Okay, so first of all, you give her, your platform, a feminine persona.
Yes.
How did that come about?
It just did. All the way through this whole journey, it was about halfway through when the light went off in my head that Ayse, she is her own entity. You know, she is has her own angels, and she has her own guides, and she has her own everything. And really, she knows what she wants because she has been guiding this all the way through. If I need something, I think it, and the next day it shows up. If I've made a decision or a choice that wasn't in the best interest of Ayse, she's made that known to me. She absolutely is her own being. And, I am 55 years old right now. And I realized in my life that the one thing I always thought I missed was ever having a child.
And now you've got it.
Boy, do I ever. So it wasn't again until about halfway through when I realized that the journey that I had been taken on was actually, this is going to sound weird until I can put it into context for people, but that I must have been standing in the embryo of her birth. I just must have been standing there, and they wanted me to know that she was coming. And it's been an amazing journey. It makes me very choked up and emotional. So sorry if I bring any emotions into this, but it has been an incredible journey. I've never seen anything evolve like this in my entire life. And I've been involved in a lot of business, streamlining and helping business, what I did back in my, corporate days and stuff. I've never seen anything like this. I've just never seen anything evolve the way that this has evolved. So I am excited. It's just in my mind, I just see her moving her little fingers and toes. And I just know that it's time. It's time. We've been doing this, and tonight it's her celebration, but I kind of feel like it's her baby shower. She's she's coming, and I think she's going to be such a big gift to the world.
So tell us, Ayse, what is she?
Okay. So she is an interactive online social learning community. So it is a little bit different. Yes, there are many different online communities online communities like social media communities and stuff. And there are also learning platforms, but they're always filled with lots of marketing and ads and upsells and pressure and a lot of that. What Ayse is it's a place where people can come and step into their self-mastery, where they can get all the help that they need from the teachers and the coaches that are there, but in an environment where they're being supported and empowered, not being sold anything. So they're inside the virtual walls of iAwesome. There's no marketing. There's no ads. There's no .coms and emails, and there's none of that. All there is all of these wonderful faculty members who have come together in this beautiful collaboration and brought their knowledge and their passion to the table because they remember their why. You know, I interviewed every single teacher, and it was because I wanted to make sure that they remembered, you know, when that time when you wanted to open up your practice or your clinic before all the marketing piece came in, and you knew why you wanted to do it. You knew in your heart what you wanted to accomplish and how you wanted to make an impact in other people's lives. And then we get all caught up in the marketing and the stuff, right, that we have to do to make that happen. Inside iAwesome, it's that piece before the marketing that everybody is bringing in their passion, their knowledge, their experience, to be able to help the students that come in and that enroll into iAwesome, to bring them. I see every student like a diamond. You know, they have all these different facets, and every facet to me is a different teacher. So when I think about my own journey in healing, I had like 8 different teachers. You know, they all brought some other aspect into play for me. And I couldn't imagine being where I'm at without them, without even one of them. And so if for any coach or teacher or mentor to think that they could be everything to anyone, my saying is you need to get out of your head, because that's not true. You can't, right? So that person, for them to step into their mastery, they need help from lots of different people. And what we want to do in iAwesome, what our mission is to bring you all those capabilities, to bring the students all the tools. I did some research and I found out that last year, $165 billion was spent on people buying online courses. And only 9% of those people finished those courses, right? So out of that 9%, I don't know, I've done it. I'm sure you've done it. How many courses have you taken that you actually didn't do anything with?
Right.
So how many of those 9% didn't even do anything with what they learned, right? So the reasons I think for that is because there's no one to motivate them. There's no accountability, right? There's no one to help them to take action, to step out of their own way, to be able to implement the things that they are learning. In iAwesome, it's different because every course has a group attached to it. And that group is a place, so there is the main campus where everybody can interact, but every course has its own little community so that students can interact with each other inside there. The teachers can interact with the students. So you're not alone and you are supported, right? In being able to finish and to learn and to ask questions and to know that there's people there that care, that you complete it, that you actually take action, that you bring this into your life. And it'll help you to make, we want to raise people to make a massive impact in their own lives, but not only in their own lives, but hopefully in the lives of others, because we've reached a time in our evolution that this needs to happen.
Absolutely.
Right.
So you really offer many communities, but what are you offering for teachers who want to have courses on your platform?
So people have asked me, how much is it to be a teacher? And I say the fee is not money. The fee is, we ask that you bring a complimentary course into iAwesome, because the students themselves will there's an enrollment, a small enrollment for them, because I've learned that free is really too expensive. So free does not bring any kind of commitment from anyone. So there is a small enrollment. So I want the when the students come in, for them to be lots of things for them to choose from immediately that they can get into. There's deeper dive courses for sure, but there's going to be a lot of complimentary courses for them to get into. A lot of complimentary groups, lots of complimentary events, lots of things for them to take part in. And it's only going to grow more and more every month. We have new and new courses coming in all the time. So that's one thing. So I offer them a revenue share of their courses, and they keep their intellectual property. I don't know who's out there doing what for teachers, but oh my God, like the questions that I have been asked in these interviews blow my mind. You know, does this course remain mine? Well, of course it does. It's your course. It's your value. It's your passion. Why would I take that from you? Right? Or, is that revenue share, is the biggest lion's share yours or mine? What? It's yours, of course, right? We also ask that the teacher, so part of it is to, of course, bring their courses in, both paid and complimentary. The other part that we ask them, the other part of their fee is to invite their following into iAwesome to help grow the population of iAwesome. Because yes, that teacher is coming there for that, or those students are coming there for them, but they might need help with their finances. They might want to get their hypnosis certification or their EFT certification, or they might want to learn about, they might have some anxiety that they need to work through, or they might have sleep issues, or they want to learn Qigong, or, they want to learn how to do rebounding or whatever it is. But there's all these different variety of courses. And, I don't know, Terry, are you teaching hypnosis certification?
No, I'm not teaching.
Right. So if someone comes in, they're coming in for that teacher, but there's other aspects, those facets I was talking about, to help bring that person into their self-mastery. Now, the one thing that I will say is that I'm not oblivious to how long it takes people to build their following. So here's this girl who's on YouTube going, you know what? I want you to bring your following into iAwesome to build the population of iAwesome. Why would you want to do that? Well, I thought about it for a long time, and there was 2 messages that I received in the vision that I got for iAwesome. And one was, it's going to be a win-win-win for everybody. And the second piece was that it was going to sustain us all. At the beginning, I didn't understand the sustain us all piece. I thought, I saw the revenue share with the courses. I saw the enrollment. Okay, I get it. But I knew that there was still something missing in all of that. It wasn't a complete circle yet. And it took me a little while to figure it out. So, I went to bed one night thinking, okay, so what am I missing? Like, what part of this am I missing? And I'm talking to iAwesome, and I'm just being like, what am I missing here? There's something big that I'm missing. And so I thought about the following, and I thought, what is a following? We market our products, or we put our products out or services out for something, and we hope that they will take it. And so let's take out all the middle pieces, all the way that we're going to help them and go from A to Z. And there's some kind of an exchange, right? So I thought about this exchange, and I thought, what is that? How am I going to create this exchange for them? So we created something called the appreciation program. I woke up at 3:00 in the morning with this, like a bullet. Like, I just sat straight up knowing exactly what I was going to be doing. And so the students pay an enrollment fee of $9.99 a month, or $89.99 for the year, to have access to all of this complimentary content and to be part of this community. So we're saying, for every following, every person that the faculty member brings in, they get 50 cents from the monthly. They get 50 cents per person per month. So it works out to 5%. So 5% per person per month. So immediately there's that exchange, because we appreciate how long it's taken you to build your following. And we appreciate that you have brought them to iAwesome. So there is appreciation there. But then we decided, I thought, okay, so this is great. This is great for the faculty. Immediately there is that appreciation, that residual, that exchange. But what about the students? What am I going to do for them? How is this sustaining for them outside of everything that we're going to be doing to help them with their self-mastery? How is this going to sustain them? So I said, okay, I'm going to do the same thing for them. So if they're paying $9.99 a month, they only have to invite 20 of their family and friends, and it becomes a wash. And if they invite more, if they believe in iAwesome and then they invite more people in, then they can get a bigger income. And that money can go towards a course, or it can go towards their car payment, or whatever it is that they want to use it towards. Then I felt like, now I feel like it's going to sustain us all in a way. So this is, and it also shows people's commitment, because there is no healing that's done if there's no commitment. And I have a very different way of looking at healers. So most people say, I'm a healer. This is what I do. And I've always never once called myself a healer. I have a lot of energy background. I also do hypnosis and NLP and different things like that, but I've never called myself a healer because it's not me that's healing you. It's you that's healing you. And you're the healer. I'm just giving you some tools, right? That's my job, is to lead that and to be there and to help you to facilitate that. But you are the healer, not me. So this world is full of millions and millions and millions and millions of healers, right? So it's not the person who's facilitating the healing. And I know that some people have had issue with me saying that, but it's the truth. So it's really about commitment, being committed to this. And it's about being committed to Ayse because it's going to help so many people.
Right. And I just have to ask you, Ayse, is there a light behind you that's casting purple and aqua?
Oh no, that's coming off of me. Yes, there is. So that's that's part of the light that I've been testing out for the party tonight. I have another one that goes over there too. So there'll be lots of lights happening behind me tonight. So
well, we've seen all kinds of strange things here on YouTube. It would not have surprised me.
It's just emanating from me.
Well, there is an aura emanating from you. And it's beautiful. And I have to say, I'm so in agreement with that last statement that you just made. I do teach energy healing, and it's not you that's doing it. It's the person. We all have.
Absolutely. It's funny how, like, because I do Reiki as well, and it changed so much. So when I do Reiki now with people, I actually talk it. I don't go over the body anymore, just because I'm a hypnotist as well. So I kind of talk it. I do a hypnosis journey, and I found that it's been more powerful because the person who's been receiving it is really they're coming on the journey with me, rather than thinking about their shopping list and they got to take their kids to soccer and, having a nap. They're actually involved in what's going on. So it becomes a very different experience for them.
Right. So Ayse, you've got some notable folks that are on this journey as teachers. You've just to mention a couple: Marbeth Dunn, G.P. Walsh, Harrison Klein. Some pretty exciting classes coming up. Do you want to talk about some classes in particular?
Oh, we have right now, when we just launched the Courtyard, which is our magazine, we launched it with about 85 different courses. And there is, healing with Hatha. There is Qigong courses. There is GP's bringing all of his stuff slowly over. I think he's got like over 40 courses. So he's starting to bring those babies in. Marbeth Dunn. We have Christopher Salem, who just joined us as well. That's more business type of courses. When you've been, when I sit here and I think about all of them, you ever draw a blank because you've just got so many of them in your head. Yeah. But we have sound healing courses, but just really different because they're going to be done live. And it's just like, you can be part of that class and that music. And I mean, there isn't one course that we've launched that I haven't been like, oh my God, I have to take that. Like they're all like, I'm like, oh my God, I'm just going to get rid of cable altogether. There'll be no more Netflix, no more nothing. All I'm going to do is be watching courses from now on. That's it.
So Ayse, timing is fascinating because this came to you shortly after the pandemic started, correct?
Yes.
Right. So while other folks sort of hunkered down and went under, you exploded on a spiritual level.
Yes, it was really interesting. Before COVID had hit, I was actually getting a little bit frustrated with my practice, only because, I spent 2/3 of my time marketing and 1/3 of my time actually doing the work that I love to do and helping, the women and the men that I love to help. And I was just like, when does this end? When do they just line up at the door and I don't have to do this anymore? So this, it was the whole marketing thing. And then when the pandemic hit, I looked at it very differently. I thought, oh, I could take a sabbatical. I can just take some time and kick back for a little bit and spend some time on myself, because it's the last thing that I was been spending time on. And so I started doing Steve Harvey's 300 list. He talks about the 300 list. And then I did, instead of doing a vision board, which is where I started, but I ended up doing a vision wall, like a whole wall of my house is now a vision wall. And I put in there big love. And I haven't been in a personal, like a romantic relationship. I guess it's been like 12 or 15 years or something. And I actually started putting up pictures of about a relationship, about a reception in the forest type of thing, right? And I started laughing to myself saying, who asks for big love in a relationship during a pandemic? Like, who does that? So I was spending some time on me, and then I went into a meditation, and that's when it happened. So I go into this meditation, and usually my mind is very in demand. It's always like thinking about 3,000 things at the same time. And so there's certain places that I like to start my meditation. Sometimes I like to climb a mountain. I never know who's going to be at the top when I get there. So that's sometimes how I like to start. But this time I feel like I was just taken right out of my body. I can't even explain it, but I was no longer here. And I was standing on this field as clear as I'm standing here right now. And there was thousands of people in front of me on this field, and everybody was dressed in white, and everybody was on these yellow gold yoga mats, like your balloon there. And everybody was spread out. And I don't know if they were spread out because of pandemic or just because there was a lot of property where I was. So if they were just spread out because of the real estate. But I do remember that I was standing behind a microphone, looking through my own eyes. I knew I was talking because my hands were moving. But I was like, what am I doing here? And all of a sudden I heard, Ayse, look right. So I turned right, and I saw these really old, beautiful buildings. And they kind of look like, I say it looks like a little bit Hogwartsy, but they didn't look like Hogwarts, but it had that feel. So it reminded me of right away. And there was just a bunch of buildings. And I knew instantly it was some kind of a learning facility. But the most interesting thing was there was this crazy pulsing energy that was coming off of it. And it was strong, because I remember standing on the field, looking at these people and looking at these buildings and feeling like I was being pushed back, like every time it would go. And I'm looking at the sky as I'm standing on this field. And, you know, when people have had visions, sometimes you get them like a dream, you know, like they're blurry. This was like HD TV. I was there. Like, I was not here looking at something. I was there. And I was looking at the sky, and I just said, how do you want me to do this? And I thought that they were saying brick and mortar, like an actual buildings, right? Like, I'm like, I don't know how I'm going to do this. You know, we were in the middle of a pandemic. Like, how am I supposed to do this? And I was crying in my meditation because there was just so much love and beautiful energy there that I loved it. And it was just flowing through me. And it was just, it just brought me to tears. And I came out of the meditation, and now I'm looking at my ceiling going, that was weird. Like, feeling very surreal. Like, did that happen? Did I just experience that? Like, what the heck was that? And then looking up at my ceiling going, I don't know how you want me to do that. I don't know how to do what you're asking me to do. And I knew very clearly what the vision was, but I just was like, I don't know how to do this. And in the next couple of days, everything started showing up, but big, like all the tools that I needed were starting to show up. People were starting to show up. Everything was starting to happen. And I really would have had to have been blind and in a coma not to notice what was going on around me. So, and it was really knocking on the door hard. So I'm opening the door, and I'm like, all right, come on in. I got nothing else to do. We're in the middle of a pandemic. Let's do this thing. Right. So I started moving through it, and it just started growing quickly and fast, and everything I asked for showed up. And I remember meeting Rowan Fox. She's one of our teachers, and she's also a channeler. And she's one of our first teachers. I really didn't know her that well, but I had this incredible need to sit down and have a glass of wine with her. So I called her up, and she lives in the States and I'm in Canada. So we got on Zoom, and it was a Friday night, and we're still just talking, and I'm having a glass of wine with her. And she said, Ayse, I have to tell you something. And I said, what? She goes, I can't even really focus on you. She goes, because I have to tell you what's going on around you. Can I do that, please? And I said, sure. And she said, all around you right now, I don't just see a few angels and guides. You've got as far as I can see, there's like this team behind you. And the moment she said that was surreal moment number 2. Because the moment she said that, I actually felt on me, I'm here, I'm here, I'm here, I'm here, I'm here. And I started feeling that. And I was just like, what is happening? And it was just like, you know how we get chills? It wasn't even chills. It was like cold lightning, like going through my body. And I was just like, so I couldn't mistake it for anything else. And it was just a crazy feeling. And she had said to me at that moment, she said, anything you ask for, you will get for iAwesome. You just have to ask and you're going to get it. And that's what they want you to know. And that this is your soul contract. And you've done this before. And this is not the first time you've done this. And the faculty that you're getting and why they're coming so easily is because they have a soul contract with you. And that's why everyone's showing up. And I was like, what? I'm this person who has lived isolated by myself for years. And all of a sudden, this is my soul contract and people have contracts with me. And what? And I was just like, I didn't really get it. I didn't get why it was me. And as I was sitting down and starting to talk to some people who were going to be in my council, and they asked me, Ayse, what's the business plan? Like, how is this going to all lay out? And I remember me thinking in my head, I don't know. Because I don't know. This wasn't my plan. So I'm like, I don't know. And I was ready to say the words, I don't know. And I opened my mouth and I spoke for a solid hour about everything that was going to happen and how it was going to happen and how it was going to lay out. And I felt like I was over there watching myself talk because I just actually didn't know what I was going to say next. And I spoke for an hour. And I remember when it was all done, we were all looking at each other like this. I'm just like, where did all of that come from? So I've just surrendered to it now. I've just completely surrendered to it. So whatever happens, I just feel like, go ahead. You want to raise my arm, whatever you want to do. So it's been, it's been a really surreal experience. It's been a huge shifting for me. I've gone through major healing. And I think the one major thing I went through was about a month or a month and a half in. One night, I used to have meetings from 6 o'clock in the morning till really late at night. I was doing Zoom meetings for like 12, 13 hours a day, talking to prospective teachers. And I would be in front of Zoom forever. And I remember that one day I was actually going to be finishing early. And it was like 5 o'clock in the afternoon. And my whole body was in pain all of a sudden. And I don't know what happened to me. And I have a couch sort of on the other side of the room here. So as soon as I finished, I managed to get through this meeting. And I went and I laid on the couch and I felt like my whole body was atrophying. And I got myself into a fetal position and I couldn't get out. And it was scaring me and everything started to hurt. And I was having this chill go through me. And I contacted Selena Elamoon. She's one of our faculty. She was at that time. And I said, I need help. Like, I know how to help someone else out of this, but there's something going on. I can't straighten myself out. I don't know what's going on. And I'm hurting. So we spent about 2 hours and it turned out it was my inner child was freaking out over everything that was going on. Because when I went to school, you have to remember, my name is Ayse. I came from a country called Turkey. I go to school. My mother sews my dresses. And I was the kid that used to hide in the bathroom and wait for everybody to go home so I wouldn't get beat up after school. So I was that kid. And so all of a sudden I'm got this academy and let's say like I'm the most popular kid in school and my inner child was losing it. And I didn't even think about her. And we're working on calming her, like this part of me down. And I remember me just surrendering to her so she could speak. And Selena asking her, what's wrong? And she said, I'm afraid. And Selena asked her, what are you afraid of? And immediately without thinking, out of my mouth came, if this doesn't work. And she says, well, what will happen if it doesn't work? And I said, because then I'll die. And that was huge. Right? That was just like shook my world. In that moment was that fear. So I had to remember to think of her always. Now, I think of my inner child all the time and make sure that she's okay through all the changes that are happening so quickly. And because she's been let down so often that, I don't want her to be afraid of this. So it's been quite a journey. And at the very end of it, now I'm laying out on the couch, I'm on the couch and my arms are up in front of me. I'm all stretched out, so now I've got my body back. I'm feeling good. And I start at that moment, something happens and Selena's talking to me on the phone. I've got the phone right here. And she says, "Are you okay?" And I start bawling. And she said, "What's wrong?" And I said, "I don't even know if I can tell you what's happening right now." And she said, "Tell me." And I was just crying so much. And she said, "What is it?" And I said, "You're not going to believe me. But right now in front of me, I have hovering over me right now is Jesus. And I see him doing this. He's like cleaning my aura." And I just saw it so vividly. And, he's appeared to me a couple of times in my lifetime. I think him and I know each other from another time. And I just all I heard him say was, "Hello, dear friend," and just cleaning my aura. And I was like, where did this come from now? So there's been some stuff. And always afterwards, I sit down, and I know anybody who has not experienced this must think I'm out of my mind. Because if I heard it, I might think somebody was out of their mind. And I sort of sat on my couch afterwards and I was like, is all of this happening to me really? Am I just making this up? Have I lost my marbles? Like, what is going on here? So I don't think I have. And it's been a beautiful experience. One day, I guess I'll write a book about it. I don't know. I don't even know if I could write a book about it. It's been an experience, but I think the biggest thing that I am so excited for is the students. I'm so excited for them to come and to begin to be a part of this and to watch it grow and to bring their energy into iAwesome is going to be amazing.
I have to agree with you, Ayse. And thank you so much for sharing those wonderful stories about the beginnings and what's going on. And I'm certainly looking forward to working with you. And now I have a little more understanding of how it all came to be. But I am also excited about the students. So my question for you right now is, I heard about you through word of mouth,
right,
from Beth, and was excited to learn more and to be a part of this. And I will be a part of it as a teacher.
Yes.
What if there are people listening right now that say, "Oh, that sounds very interesting. How do I get involved? What do I need to know?"
So easily. So they just have to go to iawesome.com. So iAwesome, AUSM. That's another really interesting thing is the name of it. So iawesome.com. And if you go there, right at the bottom of the page, on the about page, on the home page, there's a join the faculty. So what ends up happening is you click onto that, you make an appointment. It's a Zoom appointment with me, just like you had, Terry. So an appointment with me where we talk about how you want to bring your magic to the world. And I answer all your questions about iAwesome. And if it feels like a good fit for you, we move on to the next steps.
And what about the celebration tonight? If somebody wants to get in on the celebration, the launch party tonight, what do they do? How do they connect into that?
So they immediately go to iawesome.com again, and then there is a button on the very first page that says join the party, or I had to learn how to make a website at the beginning, like the front end of the website. We have a web developer for the, so my pop-up apparently isn't that great. But anyway, so there's a button on the beginning that says join the party here, or there's actually right on the navigation bar, there's launch party. Go there, click that. You can see everything that you need to do to prepare for the party, which means decorate your space a little bit, wear purple, bring your I self-mastered sign. So I self-mastered, it's hashtag I self-mastered something. So it doesn't matter. It could be like I put visioning, right? Somebody put optimism, because we focus so much on what we are not that we forget all the things that we've actually mastered in our lives. It could be swimming. It doesn't matter what it is. You have mothering. It could be anything, right? So, you self-mastered something, and, bring a glass of wine, a glass of tea, cup of tea, whatever it is you want to bring, your favorite hors d'oeuvre, and come and be with us for a couple of hours. You're going to meet some of the faculty. You're going to win some. We got some prizes, some giveaways to give out tonight. Bob Doyle will be leading it. I think of it more like the baby shower. We're partying, we're bringing her in, and yeah, just be with us. And it's a little bit different because usually when people do these things, they do them like a webinar and everybody just has to chat what they want, you know, when they want to contribute stuff. But we decided to do it differently. I like seeing people. So we're actually doing it like a meeting. So we're going to have lots of people on the screen, and we just want to party with everyone and celebrate her coming into the world.
That's great. And what time is it?
So it's at 5:30 Pacific Standard Time and 8:30 Eastern Standard Time for 2 hours. We're also doing another one on November the 10th, I believe, at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the people in Europe, because we want to make sure, like we said, it's a global community. It's hard to pick a time that everybody can come to. So we're going to do another one on November the 10th for the people in Europe that can't make that.
Perfect. Perfect. So just to get in the mood for your celebration tonight, Terry, what have you self-mastered?
I have self-mastered overcoming fears.
Perfect.
Fabulous.
And
Fabulous.
you, Ruth?
I have self-mastered listening to Archangel Michael.
That's amazing.
That's
right?
good.
And this is what we want. You know, everyone's got some beautiful things. And if it's nothing, you know, it doesn't have to be a spiritual thing that people have self-mastered. It could be that they're just, I've self-mastered driving in the snow. I mean, it doesn't matter. It could be anything. We're all good at things. We've all mastered things in our lives. So it's really focusing on, you know, looking at our inventory of the things that we've mastered and picking one of those and bringing it to the party.
Excellent. So in closing, Ayse, is there anything else you want us to know?
Oh, wow. What else can I tell you? I think of Ayse like the 100th monkey syndrome. You know, it's about all of us joining together. And at some point in humanity, once enough of us have mastered, enough of us have woken up, enough of us starts using the tools that we already have and start using them, we're going to reach a tipping point, you know, a point where maybe it doesn't have to be everybody that self-masters themselves, but just enough of us that do it, that it's going to tip it all for all of humanity. And we don't have to live in a place full of fear and hate and all of these other things that are happening out there right now. And I'm not saying that we're going to end up in some nirvana and we're all going to be like, oh, like, you know, I'm not thinking that, but I do feel like it's going to be a better way to live, because we just can't go back anymore, you know? And so it's time to move into whatever our next part of our evolution is. This is it. It's time to move in. I think iAwesome is going to be a big contributor to that.
I do too. And we could not be more proud than to be sitting here with you today. We hope you have an amazing day.
Thank you.
All day long, Ayse, it is your day today. So enjoy it thoroughly.
I will.
And all of our friends, thank you so much for being here with us today for Focus on Lightworkers, learning about the International Academy of Universal Self-Mastery. So please, please take advantage of everything that Ayse is offering. And we look forward to meeting with you all soon. So everybody take good care and God bless. Thank you.